I mean, I'm not saying I'm some sort of Mystic Meg when it comes to, spotting defensive talent, but he came in.
Is that what Mystic Meg did? Did she
Yeah,
spot
yeah,
defensive talent?
she did. She was really good. Tony Pulis, he hired her at Stoke.
No, that's probably true. That is
Or
probably.
Ian Holloway when he went to Blackpool. You know what I mean? It's one of those, isn't it?
Yeah.
Titles.
Welcome to Buckets and Bubbles.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm all right, mate. How are you?
Oh, living the dream. Living the dream.
Yeah.
You've not been well though, have you?
No. It's been one of them. Lots of shit. Not literally, but just lots of stuff. And then your body occasionally goes, lie down for a bit, and you go, all right, yeah, thanks for that.
Yeah. Sometimes you need to.
Yeah.
You need to have a little bit of a lie down.
It's meant that I've not finished watching Stranger Things, but it's meant I've started the new Star Trek series. So I'm a couple of episodes into that, and it's terrible.
It's the Academy thing.
Yes. I really like that. Like Holly Hunter is like the lead, essentially, is the captain, and is magnificent and chews the scenery up and is great, but it's just crap. And I really like this era of Star Trek. Like, I like Discovery, I like Strange New Worlds, I like Lower Decks and all that kind of stuff. But this is the one I'm going, I don't give a shit about high school nonsense. Like, just give me some fucking Klingons and let's get on with it.
I thought you were going to say high school nonsense.
High school nonsense? There's enough of that in the press.
That's what I thought you were about to say. Yeah, there is, isn't there?
Yeah.
Well, all right.
Not enough in prison, though. Yeah.
Yeah. There'd be some going to prison, though, you would think.
I mean, in a normal, just world that isn't run by billionaire corporations and facilitated through Epstein and his paedophile ring, you'd think so.
You worry about the ex-MP, who I won't name for legal reasons, who may or may not have been involved in Epstein. You worry for him now, though.
Yeah. High-born people who appear to have traded information when they held a particular trade position.
Just makes you sick, doesn't it?
Yeah. Just like, brilliant. Yeah, thanks. I don't have a dentist. Thanks.
Yeah, but it's a funny one because you sort of know that it's been sold to the highest bidder anyway, but when it's actually presented to you hard, cold facts that is actually what's happening, you sort of go, oh.
Yeah, I had this conversation with somebody the other day, and I drew a conclusion of, like, this is the X-Files, but just replace UFOs with a giant paedophile ring, which exists solely to sell off public assets and interfere with democracy.
Yeah.
Like, Fox Mulder is right.
I shouldn't be laughing because it ain't funny.
No.
But you're just like,
what else can you do? What else can you do? Apart from riot and burn down Parliament.
Well, we could do that.
We're not doing enough of that.
Hey, it's what they tried to do in America. And they all got pardoned.
Yeah.
So,
just depends which side of the paedophile ring you're on.
That is very true. I'm hoping I'm on the right side.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what you can do. You can talk nonsense about West Ham and Leeds.
Yeah. Back to like,
back to that nonsense.
Back to that nonsense.
Why is it called Buckets and Bubbles?
Well, so spelt it wrong. so ducats. The history comes from the ducat, which is a gold coin. Also, the Goldacat, who was in Star Trek Deep Space Nine. There you go. There's the thing. It's a gold coin used through Europe in the Middle Ages until the 20th century. Great. Buckets. The South Sea bubble, historically bubbles, refers to economic booms that eventually pop.
Oh, I like that, though.
Yeah.
I like that. That could be the Premier League all over. That's going to eventually pop, innit?
Yeah. Well, they're all going to be in prison, aren't they? Owners.
Probably. Well, are they all paedophiles as well?
Well, they're all billionaires, aren't they? So, Saudi Arabia.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Do with that as you will. Fair enough.
I've got a really weird reflection in my glasses.
Yeah, what is that?
So I found out on OBS, which is the software we're using, when you go into the camera settings, you can do a ring light on your screen, which is what I've done, because I always struggle with a hat is to get lit underneath. And so I've tried that this week, and it's giving me like a weird like head-up display, as if I'm like a fighter pilot wearing like AI glasses or something.
or a cyborg.
Yeah.
Talking about Star Trek, he could easily
Yeah,
be a cyborg.
could be a member of the Borg. Yeah.
Not Beyond Borg.
No, not beyond Borg. Resistance to tennis is futile.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
All right, let's do some social media.
Right.
Got 2 games to talk about. Anton Stach.
Stach.
Unfortunately, got injured against Arsenal. So we just had the first one, the Arsenal game, which was a Blu-ray DVD cover of the Naked Gun. You know him on the bullet.
Yeah. Nice
with his
work.
badge
Yeah.
and a little water pistol. So that's quite nice. I liked that.
What's the thing to Gunners? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and Arsenal, obviously.
Because the last film was Arse.
I mean, it was, yes, but so bad.
Yeah.
And I had loads of people telling me it was good. It really wasn't.
I heard loads of good things saying, they really captured the spirit of Police Squad, and it's the right person. And then my mate, who was like a really big fan of everybody involved, was just like, this is absolute dog shit. Okay.
It wasn't great.
It
wasn't great. But I know a lot of people that liked it, so what do I know?
Yeah.
No, but Arsenal as in having an Arsenal. Hence the
an
Gunners.
arse, right, yeah. Having capacity to use lots of weapons.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. Piro's been knocking around. He's there looking harmless.
How's his sinuses?
Well, I think his sinuses are fine, but I don't know, because he's got sinuses.
Yeah, he's got them. Yeah. Lucky sod.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. So I think they're okay, but he still tends to breathe through his mouth quite a lot, which I suppose we all do from time to time.
Yeah.
What else? We had a bit of YTS action, taking a leaf out.
January transfer window. You've transferred our YTS photographer.
Could be. It's about all we did in the transfer market, quite frankly. Maybe we've got some artistic shots of the seats. And that is in the south stand, looking towards the cheese wedge, I believe. That's quite nice. And then we've got some arty shots of the ground. We've got a lovely shot of the programme. I think that's the Arsenal programme. Yeah, against one of the goal posts. So that's quite nice. Nottingham Forest. That was quite nice. Like the picture of Farker and what's he called? What's their manager called? Daesh.
Yeah.
Sort of facing off against each other. So
who I was referred to as football herpes.
Correct.
Yeah.
Again, Forest match. I was with a nice, a Leeds United cap with all the badges on. Quite like that as well. Yeah, that's just like a little collagey thing. All the Warriors going towards Ellen Road. The players. That's quite nice. I like that. And a bit of artisticness with Justin as well. He's sort of what's it called, blurred back. And then I went to Arsenal, what they did, and they did that, which is just boring.
Was it just lots of people just being really quiet?
It should be.
Yeah.
Just a little library.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just somebody going shh.
Yeah. The only Leeds connection that they've got, basically, and he's clapping along, and it says next bollocks to him. Yeah, so that was that. Less said about the Arsenal game, the better, but I'll get onto that. Just before I move on to yours, it was Pride. So it was obviously a Premier League thing, because your Pride of Irons and our Leeds marching on together, Pride, they're very similar. So I imagine that's artwork from schools or whatever. But that's quite nice. I like that.
Yeah.
And the other thing I wanted to throw in before I go completely into yours was, and I've not seen this, so maybe it hasn't been happening, or maybe they've just started doing it. But there was your usual artwork for a match, with all the players around, one central player and all the others around it. But for the women's team, first time I've seen that. Do they normally do it?
They're starting to. I mean, it's one of those things, I think, where the women's team started really well. We had, a documentary about us on the BBC and all that stuff, and invested heavily. What's the name of that player? I forget what she's called. Alicia Lerman. We signed Alicia Lerman, and women's team was everywhere. We then decided it weren't paying back as much as like the Man City's women's team were. So they just pulled all funding and pulled all its presence. But we're organically doing all right now. So they're throwing a bit of money at the exposure of the women's team. They've always backed him. They've always kind of, but it's like you could tell the first couple of seasons of the Women's Premier League, they absolutely like threw money at it in the hope that we would, do something. And it didn't happen for whatever reason. We did reasonably well, but we were never competing for trophies very often. But yeah, we're doing all right. So yeah, there's lots of coverage. I like it. It's good to see.
Yeah, very good to see. Love it. So what were you doing? Your ITS wasn't that busy. It was the sort of usual fare. But
it's because he's moved to Leeds.
He's moved to Leeds. Quite possible. It could well have happened. You've got your London derby before the Chelsea game. That's quite nice. Big Ben in the background. West Ham Burnley, or rather Burnley West Ham. That's got I think it's Hernandez and of course your new signing, who is sponsored by Johnson's Baby Oil potentially.
Yeah, that's going to be our sleeve sponsor for the championship, it seems.
You did do around the world, though.
Yeah.
Where are you watching from?
Whoever's in Singapore gives a shit about Burnley West Ham.
Correct. Singapore's up there, yeah. As in, so it's Abu Dhabi and Brisbane, Rio de Janeiro, New York. So wherever you're watching from, I happen to be in Sutton Coldfield.
Nice.
So they could put that on there, couldn't they?
Yeah.
North Birmingham somewhere. Royal Sutton Coldfield, I'm told. Don't know what makes it royal, but there you go. However, yours, let's go through yours, Mike, because that's personally a roller coaster. Yours personally.
Okay.
So half-time at Chelsea, 2-0. If we go down playing like this, at least it's entertaining.
Yep, we played magnificently in that first half, and I'll get into it, but I will just... If we played like that and lost 3-2 from here to the end of the season, in a game a la Leeds Newcastle, that kind of back and forth kind of, if we just went like that, I'd be like, yeah, cool. Happy.
No, you wouldn't.
No, I mean, I'd be sad that we're going down, but at least the
football's
very
good that first half. Yeah. Unfortunately, full time, and all you had to say was, well.
Yeah, well, that was it. And I'll get into it, but there's a substitution in that game which was a stinker. There's a couple of stinkers in that game, which I don't think we're perhaps going to see the level of until now and the rest of the season. I think that was a turning point for the manager.
Okay, interesting. Oh, okay. I'll get into that in a minute. Burnley half-time. Bring Pablo on. 30 minutes to go and score 3.
Yeah. Because we started with Callum Wilson, and there's been a slight complaint that Pablo and Tati maybe aren't quite as up to speed fitness-wise for the Premier League and the speed of it. So therefore, they're both coming off at 60 minutes, and that's when we seem fragile. It's because we don't have that double pressure up top to start pressing high up. And I thought they'd kind of got onto a winner here and like bring Callum Wilson with Tati, and then bring Pablo on, and so we can continue that pressure. Do what we need to do in the first half, maybe not quite as intensive as when those two were on, but bring those two on at the end and hammer it home as you like, pardon the pun. But yeah, no. We still won the game, but that's not quite the plan.
Yeah. But second clean sheet of the season, full time.
Yeah, by the same goalkeeper. Mads Henningsen. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. What have you got to say about him? He's
still shit. I look at him and I'm scared. Like, I think he did really well against Burnley. I've yet to be convinced. I don't think I'd be as panicked as if he started, half a dozen games between now and the end of the season as I was when I first saw his name on the team sheet, but I'm still not convinced. I still prefer Areola.
Top assister.
Yeah.
Let's get into the game then, shall we?
Yep.
This is a classic one, this Leeds Arsenal, because it's that typical game where you go, right, just forget it, move on.
Yeah.
What I will say about Arsenal, which I'm obviously not the first person to say this, but
the fans are all shit.
Fuck me, they are boring.
Yeah.
I mean, considering how much they have spent on players. Listen, they're effective, don't get me wrong, and they certainly deserve to give us a spanking. But you sort of go, really? I mean, the goals we give away are awful. They're just corners where it's just set pieces. You go, they're going to stumble over the line. They're probably not. They're probably going to win it by clear, 6-7 plus points. But really, I mean, because I guarantee, knowing a few Arsenal fans, that if they win this year, which I think they will, next year, they won't be happy with this football.
If you're going to go down 4-0, you want to go down to a proper team who's absolutely spanked you in the best possible way. You don't want to be shithoused to a 4-0 loss.
Anyway, whatever. Less said about that match, the better. The only thing I would say is I think we are now on -9 goal difference, and that is all Arsenal.
Yeah,
so we shipped 9 goals against Arsenal, and that is our entire negative. So I think we're on 0 goal difference. That's what I'm taking from it, because it's just Arsenal.
Yeah. I want to say one thing I do like about Arsenal. They've got a really good midfielder. I like him.
Oh, yeah, I know you do.
Yeah,
he's not won a World Cup though, has he?
No, he's not won a World Cup. He has won the Europa Conference League though.
Has he?
Yeah, I think it's a good trophy to win.
Is it?
Yeah.
Under
It's more than
David
what
Moyes.
Arsenal have won under Arteta. Oh no, they've won an FA Cup, haven't they?
Yeah.
Twice.
But yes, they've got some very, very good players, and that's why I'm not too arsed about it. It's just one of them you go, oh, I just wish we'd have. So anyway, I'll move on to Nottingham Forest, because that was a massive game. Massive game for us.
Game for us.
Yeah. We had to win that, really. I mean, we've got, our upcoming fixtures now are Chelsea. I think it's Chelsea, then it's FA Cup in it at the weekend. And then we've got 3 really, really tough games. And you're looking at it sort of going, right, we've got to beat Nottingham Forest in this game. We've got to, really. Otherwise, we could quite easily find ourselves in the bottom 3 because of the next 3 matches.
Sunderland, Palace are the other 2.
So who've we got? Chelsea,
City, Villa, Sunderland, and then Palace.
Villa. Yeah. Chelsea, City, Villa. Hard matches. Sunderland, a hard game.
Yeah.
Until we get to Palace. So at least we've given ourselves a little bit of a buffer. Yeah. But yeah, beating Nottingham Forest was important. And I didn't think it would go quite as well as it did. No Anton Stach, because he got injured against Arsenal, so there was no social media, sadly. But he started Gruev and Okafor, and we're talking. You mentioned before about having 2 people up front to start the press. We've been saying this as Leeds fans about Nemetcha. Now he's just come back from an injury, but actually that second half against City, when it changed for us, him and Dominic Calvert-Lewin were up front starting that press, and Okafor has never quite done it. So when the team came out and it was Okafor and Gruev who were in the team, everybody sort of thought, oh really? But Gruev played like blooming a man possessed. Man of the match for me. 2 assists. Brilliant ball over the top for the first goal for Bogle running in. And what's quite interesting, Dominic Calvert-Lewin scored again, although he's messed his map up. It's not straight down the middle anymore. There's just one just
dear.
poking
Maybe he's
out to one
spelling
side.
something out.
Like what?
I don't know. Maybe he's going to do like. I mean, this will take an enormous amount of doing, but maybe it's LUFC, and we're seeing the L taking shape.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe it's a theory. We could,
I mean, there's lots of theories.
We'll keep an eye on it.
One of them.
We'll keep an eye on it. Hell of a finish from him, though. Gruev, we're still not sure if it was a cross or a shot, but he sort of threw himself out, chested it into the near post. Very good finish. And, of course, Okafor played really well as well, and he scored. James, what's his name?
James Justin.
That's the fella. He went flying down the outside. There were a 1-2 with Aronson, who again played amazingly well. A lovely ball from Aronson. Justin shot. It came back to him. He had the presence of mind then. Justin, instead of shooting again, he had his head up, across the box. Okafor puts it into an empty net. Finished 3-1. More than deserved it, I think.
Yeah.
They had a bit of pressure in the first half, which you worried about, but I don't think they ever really tested Darlow. And we still have a problem in nets. Yeah. But
it was really interesting. The build up to this game week, lots of the conversation on West Ham socials was about this game rather than ours. Because we were a bit like, if we get a point, if we lose, whatever. The real interest would have been this, because a lot of West Ham fans were wanting the result reversed, were wanting Forest to win, because a lot of them felt like Leeds were the better one to catch because of the running.
Yeah.
And I'm a bit like, obviously I'm slightly biased. I was a bit like, I don't like Sean Dyche. I don't really like Nottingham Forest. I'd really like Leeds to win. So I was really pleased. So I kind of went against the grain of a lot of the West Ham socials. But, you know,
I don't think they've got as many quality players as I thought they had.
I think they've sold a few over summer. Because
they've got a couple, but you're sort of going. You're looking. I always look through the side and I think, how many of your players would get in our team?
Yeah,
probably one.
Yeah,
one, maybe two. That Igor Jesus up front. He had a couple of chances, but doesn't look great.
No. Whereas a couple of years ago, there was some fast-paced, kind of brilliant players amongst that team, and players who, a couple of our first teamers, Lingard and Ward-Prowse, ended up at there at various points and couldn't even get a shout. Couldn't even get on team bus. Never mind starting. So that kind of showed you where they were headed, and they've just, I mean, it shows you where they are in the league, exactly how much they've dropped off from when they first came up.
Completely.
Yeah.
And I think if they're not careful, they are gonna really struggle down there. I know Crystal Palace had a decent result, but at the weekend, but I still worry for them. We've got to play them soon, and it's a tricky one. My stinker, I'll just give you the stinker, was the Nottingham Forest bench, the coaching staff. They just got wound up by the crowd behind them. I don't know if you've seen the videos, but they're just sort of screaming and shouting at the sort of supporters. Just shut up, man.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're never going to win that. You know what I mean? I mean, I don't know what they were shouting. If it was out of order, then fair enough. But, just take the defeat and move on.
Yeah, even then, there's probably ways and means of just, and if it were out of order, you just kind of, there's ways and means. Yeah,
you just report it. I know it's hard, but you just sort of go, it doesn't help, does it? So they're my stinkers. Get on with it, for God's sake. Because I'm not going to blame the referees or the Premier League for. I mean, there was a throw-in, right? There's a throw. I can't remember. I think it was their left back. I can't remember who it was. And as it slipped out of his hands. It did slip, but he did throw it, and then he just sort of went, and he went and picked the ball up again, and he went, I didn't mean to do that. It was an. And it was like, well, hang on a minute. Ampadu's going, whoa, hang on. What's going? That's now our throw. That's a foul throw. And the referee was like, I'll let him do it again. Well, hang on. Why? Why let him do it again? For what reason?
Yeah, this isn't a participation sport.
Yeah. So anyway, that's my stinker. I'm not going to moan too much about the officials. Moving on to you.
Okay, Chelsea.
We've got next.
Yeah. Yeah, they're a bit of a weird team because they've had the moments. They've obviously hired Leonard Rossiter.
I missed the Leonard Rossiter one. Where's your Leonard Rossiter one? Let me just put that up quickly. Yeah, I liked that. What was the caption that you put on it?
Chelsea's new man is under pressure. This was half time when we're leading, and you could see in that first half he was miserable as sin, and I was like, good. That was really fun to watch that because he looked really pissed off, and I'm like, mint. And
Leonard Rossiter.
I absolutely jinxed it because he went away and he looked in his little tactic book, got his Etch-a-Sketch out, and went,
Yeah. Built some Lego.
Yeah, built some Lego.
He built a Lego of a goal, and he said, there you go, look, that's what it looks like. Go and put a ball in.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
But he didn't get his green... Did he get his little green board out, though, and build it from scratch? Or was it a pack? Was it one of those packs?
I think it would a Premier League sponsored one, so you could only ever build Stamford Bridge, or whatever it was. In fact, were we away? I can't remember. It's that long ago. But yeah, they first half we were great. It was a joy to watch. We had Bowen and Somerville just being Bowen and Somerville, and it was fantastic just to see. Even I've always kind of been aware of, and we've mentioned it before, like under previous administrations of this club, how little we take shots and how little, and that's seems to be going away. We're taking shots. Like Mateus Fernandez is just pot shotting at 30 yards, which is a sign of the other team is doing well defensively. But I think it's also a sign of he's really cocky and he thinks I've scored a couple of these and I'm going to get a couple more. Like the first half was the first half. It was brilliant. It was ambitious football, attacking football. Like we're saying, the two up top, really putting the pressure on. We're winning, those turnovers. We're getting the second ball. It's all the things that recent West Ham, when we're really good, have been good at. and it was really nice to see a return to that. Second half, I think we just came out feeling like we were in control and not really. I was going to say the phrase paying respect to Chelsea, but I also think you can do that too much. Pay respect to the team and end up being on the wrong end of it. I feel like we thought we were ultimately the better team, and like
you were the better team first half.
First half, yeah. I mean, maybe we were comparable in terms of squad depth and ability, which I don't think we were. On the day we matched them in that first half. So yeah, second half comes along. Chelsea do what Chelsea do, and they just threw everybody at it. They, absolutely just stuck two men on Somerville and just hacked him down at all moments, and that really killed it. Bowen has been carrying an injury, I think, for the last couple of games, so he's as good as he was in the first half. I think he kind of started to tire, and again, Tati and Pablo just not being, having had. If they'd had a full season with us by this point of the season, you'd think they'd be up for it, but they just haven't. They just haven't had the time to acclimatise fully. They have, in terms of the pace of the game, when they're at full tilt, they're great, but they just don't have the steam to see it out. What was really interesting is obviously Traore. This was Traore's debut. And he ended up in a little bit of a ruckus towards the end.
He did.
Which was quite, at that point, I was like, cool. I like this. There's a little bit of grit about when players just have a little bit of argy-bargy, and at that point, that's all it was. There was a little bit of argy-bargy going on. Jean-Claude Todibo just went mental, and I think the same can be said about their keeper as well. I think their keeper, Sanchez, were exactly the same.
Todibo saw red. Yeah. He went absolutely. He went
like
batshit crazy.
In his eyes, you were just like, oh, shit. Yeah.
He seems like he's got issues, that lad.
I mean, there's a reason why he's at West Ham, and he's such a brilliant, like when he's on form, he's a brilliant player, but there's a reason why he's at West Ham, and that's me.
Yeah.
Mavropanos, I will say, he's turning into, because he's still on this journey, because there's still an error in him, but I just feel like he's number one on the defensive team sheet at the moment. Like his head meets every ball. And that's particularly against Burnley.
You've always liked Mavropanos.
I have, because I could always see him developing into a decent player. I mean, I'm not saying I'm some sort of Mystic Meg when it comes to spotting defensive talent, but he came in.
Is that what Mystic Meg did? Did she spot defensive talent?
She did. She was really good. Tony Pulis hired her at Stoke.
No, that's probably true. that is probably.
Or Ian Holloway when he went to Blackpool. You know what I mean? It's one of those.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've always because you could always see that he came in and he knew his position in the squad. He was coming as a second tier defender. But every time he put on the shirt and every time he went out there as a substitute or when he was starting, he gave 100%. And now his 100% weren't always the 100% that we needed, but he always gave it. I mean, we'll go on to Burnley, may as well, because it's a much more.
Hang on. Before you go on to that, tell me about the substitutions.
Oh, the substitution. Yeah. So second half. The thing which absolutely, I think, killed it for us and probably signalled to Chelsea that, hey, we can have a go, is we brought on Kilman and we sat back really early on in that game to try and control it. And I just don't think we don't have the players on the bench to be able to see out a game playing that sort of defensive way.
But it was different at Burnley.
Yeah. Burnley, I think, as we mentioned earlier, Mads Hermansen comes back in. I don't know if this is conspiratorially to do with the fact that he was almost going to join Leicester in the transfer window, go back to Leicester.
Why would you do that?
Well, he's just not playing with us.
They're heading back to League One.
Yeah. And it must be, there must have been some desperation from him to be like, I just want to play football. I'll go back to Leicester where people like me. And I wonder if this Burnley game was an arm around the shoulder to go, no, you can do that here. Let's see. All right, then, if you're that bothered about it, let's give you a go.
Is Fonzie injured?
I don't think so.
Right. Was he on the bench?
He was on. I think he was on the bench. I'm not 100% though.
Right.
Let me have a look.
Because it's definitely a state. If he was on the bench, then it's a bit of a statement, isn't it? But we've swapped and changed keepers, and the thing is, and also watching Forrest have just bought what's his name from Man City, he played for Forest for 500k, £500,000, and you're sort of going, "Oh, we should have gone and got him for £500,000 because we need a keeper really." But then watching it, you sort of go, "Oh." And I know they've got Sells injured, and their other keeper has got an injury as well, so they were in trouble. But he wasn't great. And I guess my point is that I think there are a lot of teams in the Premier League where you look at the goalkeepers and you go, they're not great. There are not that many great goalkeepers out there.
Maybe Areola needed a rest. Maybe it's a tactical thing. Maybe it was Nuno going, he's the only guy who's given us a clean sheet. Let's see if he can do it again. Lo and behold, he did. But I was a little bit like, oh, when I saw it. And I knew there was obviously going to have to be changes. Todibo, blah, blah, blah. It was always going to be a slightly weird game, I think, for that, just because of those changes. But it were fine-ish. You know, there were early on, I felt like he was a little bit nervy, and there's a couple of points where I feel like Burnley could have got the better of him, and it would just maybe luck rather than judgment, where he ended up with the ball in his hands or punching it away, or and I just felt I'm not convinced, and maybe that's me looking at it thinking, "Oh my God, he's the worst keeper on earth," and not really giving him the chance, and that's maybe clouding my judgment of what I'm seeing. Had he performed and given clean sheets, every other match, I might have been looking at those differently and saying, "Oh, that's a commanding performance." But given what we've seen, given what my opinion of that player is, I came away from it thinking we especially in the first half, I think we've maybe got away with it.
Yeah, I think you're right about the game though. That maybe it's a game where it wasn't as much of a risk. I mean, Burnley was shit.
Yeah,
they were shit. They have the balls sometimes, but they're just not. I mean, the Burnley fans. They are so over Scott Parker. I mean, they're literally saying there's no identity. I mean, I've heard it from we've talked in language like this. There's no identity. I don't know what the tactics are. There's no plan B. Blah 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 blah. I mean, and Scott Parker, he's not a new manager there. No. He's been there a while. And the thing for them is they could sort of defend reasonably well in the Championship and nick the odd goal. You can't do that in the Premier League against anyone. Because you're not good enough at defending. So they're going to score, and you did. And
they're missing their captain Josh Cullen. Which I don't think helps because he's out on long term, and he's a great player. My favourite goal of the season is the Diouf cross onto Tati's head. That was an absolute belter. That, I think, he's on a par with Fernandez's long range. I loved that because Diouf has been one of those players who's crossing was part of the reason we bought him, and he's supposedly this world-class crosser. He's a young lad, and that's the big part of his game, but he was too late in his crosses, and he was always kind of delivering 90 degrees into the box, whereas I don't know, like Aaron Creswell was always a player who used to cross from that kind of area just a little bit outside of the box and kind of angle it in, and kind of been saying for a while, like, that's the area he needs to exploit. He's to launch his crosses in from there. And so this game he did, and Tati's on the end of it, and we score, and it's like, brilliant. It's like all the stars aligned, and we got exactly what we wanted. And he's like,
do that. More of that, please.
As an heir apparent to Aaron Creswell, I think we've maybe found him if he carries on doing that. But yeah, I think Diouf has come back from the Cup of Nations a champion, and it's taken him a couple of games to get back into the rhythm of it, but he's here now, and it feels like cool. That's the player we thought we'd get in, and he's cracking. Loved it. Loved that goal. It's my favourite one.
It's giving you a bit of breathing space.
Yeah.
Well, not quite breathing space, but hope.
It was one of those, you go in at 2-0 at half-time and you think, oh, what's going to happen? And, credit to Burnley, they come out in the second half and they absolutely, tried and pinned us down for a good 10, 15 minutes,
They did try, but they never really troubled you, did they? I don't think.
No, I mean, once they got into the final third and the shots were going in, this is where I started to not change my opinion of Hermansen, but I felt very much less anxious, because I even felt like, because Mavropanos was the one heading the ball away more than anything, so we didn't really need, Hermansen to do much. He was unbelievable. I've spoken enough about Dino this podcast, but unbelievable performance from him, and bring it on, bring on Man United. It's one of those games where I say it every week. It's one of the games where West Ham can turn up and get a result.
A stopped clock is right twice a day.
Yeah, and Michael Carrick is a product of our academy. He's also won everything he's ever won at
Are you
Man
saying
United.
he's gonna throw it away for the sake of West Ham? Is that what you're saying?
I'm hoping so. I'm hoping there's a slight little
Right.
tug of his heartstring to go. Agent Carrick comes in and just goes, just draw this one, lads. Because I'll take a point. I'll take a point.
Right. Give me a minute on why Traore didn't baby oil himself down.
Traore didn't baby oil himself down because he was very late in the dawn, so he was still at Fulham. That was a weird way. Yeah, that was a weird way to say Fulham, wasn't it? But he was on his way a couple of days, and I don't think his Amazon subscribe and save had updated his address to Rush Green. So I just don't think we had enough in stock to really. I believe every other part of his body must have been, but his arms just weren't.
Okay. Do we think there is a national shortage of baby oil?
Well, I think possibly, because he is the person who is responsible mostly for the baby oil sales in this country.
Unfortunately, he's not the only people who are responsible for baby oil sales.
Yeah.
Which we probably shouldn't go into.
No. Is that looping back right
at the
beginning? Anyway.
It might be. Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Well, there's my minute done. There we go.
Give me a minute.
Given Leeds survived this season, because I believe there's probably just you're maybe like 1% into the just enough to survive. Like it's not nailed on, but I think it's difficult now to be relegated for Leeds. It will take an awful swing.
Okay.
Where do you think, given this run of form, if that continues, where do you think Leeds will finish next season?
Next season?
Yeah.
I think second season syndrome. I think second season is always harder. I'm looking to be fair. I'm thinking a little bit more about the Championship at the moment. So I watched the game last night between Sheffield United and Middlesbrough, and I think it all depends on that, because I think Middlesbrough will probably come up. Having watched last night, they've caught up to Chelsea. That's because of Fat Frank.
Yeah.
They've caught up to Coventry, who are bottling it completely. But I'm looking at the teams there, and I'm going, I'm not sure that they're not traditionally the teams that are up there. Like your West Broms and your Leicesters and
Norwich, that kind of.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Norwich are there or thereabouts, I think, in the playoffs. But I'm looking at those teams coming up, saying I don't think they're as strong as Sunderland, Leeds, and even Burnley potentially. So I'm sort of going, next season I think will be a struggle again. But I think if we end up finishing 15th, 16th this season, which would be a massive achievement, I think it'll be the same next season. And then you hope you kick on from there, don't you?
Yeah, there you go. That's a minute and a bit, but yeah,
that was sensible, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was and quite right. It's one of them, innit? A season when Ipswich and all them come up, you kind of go, all right, cool, they're going straight back down.
Yeah.
This season, it's proved otherwise, but yeah, cool.
I think it could be similar next season. Yeah, nice. So, what's your predictions for tonight?
Tonight, I think I'll take a Desmond.
You'd always take a Desmond.
I'll always take a season of Desmonds. I'm happy as Larry. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, you stay up. Season of Desmond, you stay up.
Yeah, stay up. Never disappointed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never too happy.
No, it's just West Ham, innit? It's just, yeah.
Well, it's just most football teams, I think. Yeah.
There's something to grumble about, and you've got a couple of goals to cheer on. What's, that'll do.
I'd be happy with. I think you could get some. Is it at home or is it Old Trafford?
It's away.
Oh
no,
it's away.
I think it might be at home. Funnily enough, I don't think Man United have got very good. I heard this stat where they haven't won at the London Stadium in God knows how long.
Well, there you go.
That might be fun. We'll see.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I can't see us getting much at Stamford Bridge. I think hopefully we'll give them a game. But I'd take a Desmond. I'd take a draw of some kind.
Fair enough.
But we'll see. I just hope that Forrest don't do anything, and Crystal Palace, etc.
Yeah, I mean it's everybody's going to be a Wolves fan, aren't they? Over the next couple of days.
Not everyone, but
no. I imagine Nottingham Forest will struggle.
Nice. Like and subscribe. I can't even say it.
Like and subscribe and share with your friends.
Yeah. Nice. Okay. Well, till next time.
Adios.